So today I took only one trade, and it was on PTD. We had a nice bearish day today, and things were very finicky and very volatile. So I had to wait a little bit. I missed an entry on Apple, so I had to quickly look through the other stocks that I had. So I ended up taking a trade on PTD. It's an outside day, so I watched this stock to see the behavior around S3. I saw that we were forming a value area here. You can see BPOC and the volume by price. That at this time of the day we had set value above just around BWeb and below the S3 level. We rejected the S3 level. We were not getting volume to push higher up, and of course the entire market was dropping. So PTD was actually behaving very similar to Apple, and the trade I missed on Apple was exactly the same. We set value at around 9:45, but it was much more trickier to trade Apple. But anyways, I noticed this range, and I made my entry. I wanted to make my entry after we rejected this value area at the breakout of the 1 minute and the 5 minute. Just around BWAP, but this candle was too large, so I decided to wait and make my entry on a pullback, which I did. You can see here, we were having a lot of selling pressure. You can see it has a long wick, so I made my entry once I was within a nice range. I placed my stop loss just above the value area, and you can see that it was an engulfing candle on the 5 minute, maybe a little bit late on the entry, but I had to wait for to drop below VWAP. I didn't want to trade against VWAP, and my entry was based not on the 5 minute candle and necessarily the 1 minute candle. That's one of the switches I made. This entry was triggered by observing volume and by observing the level 2. If you watch the live video, we had a number of stacks just triggering a number of stacks at the bid triggering, and it was some volume, and it was at the market. They were not limit orders; they were market orders. And after we got rid of those stacks, the price dumped, which is a big candle you see here. So I realized that we were getting ready for a drop, and the confirmation for that was the fact that we had stacks down at the bid. So first we had some players trying to hold the price at the bid at 37. We failed to break out higher and above S3, and we dropped, and then we dropped faster and faster. So we got some velocity here on this drop, and I decided that and after seeing those stacks, I knew that this stock was primed for a short at the break of this range right here and the rejection of the value area. So having those criteria met, the breakout of the 1 minute and the 5 minute wasn't so relevant, as long as I knew we had a bearish candle. So we engulfed the previous candle and we broke down from the 1 minute candle from this range, but this candle was too extended, so I didn't care. I just tried to make my entry within this area on the pullback, as long as I was placing my stop loss here. Any price here is fair, so I placed my stop loss in a very good area, and I made my entry on the pullback. And you can see that it pulled back a little bit, and we had some volume here, but we had a lot of confidence on the stacks on the level 2, and you can see here that we just got volume on the drop. And I partial at 2R because this is an outside day. It tends to be more volatile, so it tends to pull back and test your stop loss and re-entry. So I got out half of my position here, and then small percentage, 25%, and then 25%, 25%. And yeah, so those were my trades. and then wait, there is one more stack. So here, um, I could have added more to my position because this is my 25, 25, 25. So I had 25 more remaining, which I got allowed here. But the only thing I failed to do here was to add more at this level, because this is an outside day, and an outside day you play the breakout of the S4 area. So this entry was not done in anticipation, was done after we had confirmation that we were dropping, and we were rejecting this value area. So we had some accumulation in this area. We failed to break out to the top side, so I made my entry at the breakdown of that area, and my plan was to add once more after I got after I got some profits here, was to make a re-entry, an add to this trade, and squeeze more out of this trade. So that's the only thing that sucked, that we got some volume here, so it kind of made me a little bit doubt the ability for the stock to drop. But once we got this very large candle with no volume, that should be the signal for me that, you know what, we're not going higher than this. Make your entry here at the stop loss of this candle, maybe, or even no, use at the stop loss of this candle, and make an entry at the breakdown of the 1 minute. So that was the only thing I failed at, and I had to just get out my remaining position here. So that's the only thing I failed at. I'm very proud of how I handled this trade. I think my entry was good. This is one of those instances that if you wait for the 5 minute to close, maybe you can make an entry, but the way the market is, it's impossible to time these entries. And even in a normal market, I think volume and stacks in the montage, those are much harder to manipulate than candle movement. So I'm basing my entry on that. So this was a very good trade, good entry, good stop loss of a value area above VWAP as well, and nice partials. The only mistake, if you can call it that, was not adding to my position. So let's grade this stock. This was a short. What? Outside day, we were bearish. We opened inside the S4 area, and we let it test R4 actually, S3 actually, and we ended up getting a little more than 3. We actually got 3.2 out of this trade, so that's very good. Okay, so I froze some. Let's see. So I need to hide these sheets. What? Okay. So where was I? We did not add at a level. That's the only failure. We made an entry after compression. Yes, yes, yes. More importantly, we had a level 2 stacks. I did not break rules. So this is an excellent trade. I will say this is an A setup. it's not an A plus because um, we did not partial enough. We did not add to our position. It's not an A plus setup because we were not trading within the very specific area. Nonetheless, we had everything else good signals. So that's why I'm deducting a point because we made an entry a little bit early, but everything was justified. So yeah, that's the only trade I took, and it was enough. I could have been more, but did not add to my position, and I don't want to take more trades starting this week. So that's it for the review for today.